Welcome back, everyone. I am the Depressed Dior, and this is Langrisser Mobile. So, new awakenings, new banners. This is the anniversary event, so tons of stuff going on. Um, Also, more importantly, Freya's SP class is available. Well, quote unquote available. I have to get a Heart of Desire first, which I think I get through this event. Um, yeah, I'm definitely going to be changing her into an SB class. Overall, it makes her stats generally better. I think her defense goes down a little bit, but her magic defense goes a lot higher. She also becomes holy, which is both good and bad. It's good because it means swords don't immediately just shred her, but it also means cavalry aren't completely negated anymore. Um, but yeah, it's going to be a good class to try out, but I can't do it yet because the event just started, and I think it's like in the last shop. Besides that, there's a new unique equipment for Chris, but I don't really use Chris, so I'm probably not going to grab it. There are awakenings for Zerida and Brenda, as well as the new characters. And let's go ahead and dive right into that. So, World in Flames. This has Rosen CL and Clotaire. Pretty much, if you want, most people want Rosen CL, though supposedly Clotaire is actually pretty good for AoE meta and all that nonsense. Rosen CL has a faction buff. She has Empire faction buff, so that's pretty good. She also has the ability to put up a stackable buff that will automatically negate status effects. She was kind of designed to be a counter against the AOE debuff meta. Fortunately, the response to that was just to make even more debuffs, so it's not exactly the best result. But she seems pretty cool. The bad news is if you want to use Rosen CL, you need Clotaire anyway because you need Clotaire for her bonds. So unfortunately, we're gonna need both of them. I think I'm 50 summons in towards my pity right now, so I should be getting an SSR regardless within 50 summons. I did go kind of all in on the last banner, so I don't exactly have all the materials just laying around for these summons anymore. But as of recording this, it is my birthday, so here's hoping. So let's dive right in. Kind of lost my notes. I was keeping track of how many summons I needed or I had done. Alright. So I don't remember exactly where I left off. But I'm pretty sure it was around 50. I've been using Albedo in World Arena, and she's actually been really useful, even at 5 stars. Even without faction buffs, I usually run no faction buffs with my tank in World Arena. I used to use Amelia, but unfortunately, Albedo is just better in kind of every way. I think the main thing that kind of stands out is she actually can kind of do counterattack damage, unlike Amelia. I haven't done too much with Sheltier. I mean, I've used her in story modes and time rifts and stuff, but I haven't really had much experience in using her beyond that. Alright, well, 40 summons. Off camera, I kind of got a little bit better luck on my last banner. So it's sort of balancing itself out. Usually, like, I get a whole lot of just pities, and then I'll get some that are just like back-to-back SSRs. Okay, we got Clotaire. We did need one, but this also makes it very dangerous for me now. I didn't even let him speak. A little tired. I'm hoping this does not end up becoming another what's it called? Was it Renata? I think it was Renata, where I ended up getting like 7 Aries. Immolation Crystal Martial Commander, the Loyal Burning Blade, who lives only to repay the Queen's kindness. I think he's like a melee mage, though you generally don't use him in melee. He just has a bunch of like AoE fire things and dots. Anyway, let's go ahead and keep going. Okay, so back to back, but we're essentially 40% chance of getting what we need. It's 20% for off banner and 40% for Clotaire. Okay, happy birthday to me. Alright. I would like to get multiple Rosen Seals, but I can't really afford it right now. There's a lot of good characters coming up that I want. There's another holy unit that's coming out. There's was it? I guess Kid Jessica. I guess the term Tensei Jessica is coming. And I think that's about it. Then I'll be able to take a bit of a break. There is like also like a collab ninja girl or something, but I don't exactly want to go for her. Alright, Queen of Regenberg, the gentle and firm Queen of the Union who bears the burden of her nation's survival. Okay. We'll call it quits here then. That wasn't too bad. Technically, Clotaire was a pity, but then it really balanced itself out with just the next 10 pole being Rosen CL. So tell you what, didn't want to go there. Alright, so yeah, we now have Rosen CL. I do plan on using her, but I might have to wait a little bit. So AoE damage taken decreased by 10%. This is actually really useful since obviously the meta is all about AoE, and biggest danger for all my healers is getting just absolutely wrecked by Ares charging in and just blasting his full power at physical AoE. When casting spells in friendly units, you dispel 1 debuff and applies 1 additional stack of Crystal Barrier. You become immune to the next 1 debuff. It can be stacked 5 times, cannot be dispelled. All friendly units within 1 block restore HP equal to Rosen Seal's intelligence times 1 and gains a stack of Crystal Barrier after taking an action. So the main thing is you want her stars to increase to expand her range. That way when people pass their turns, they will get a bunch of those stacks and then kind of go from there. I'm kind of tempted to go ahead and just use her even at 3 stars just to see how she plays. But you definitely need more stars just for a variety of reasons. Classes that are available. I believe she's got Holy and Mage. I believe you go Mage for higher end. Her faction buff, when initiating battle, damage increases by 12%, and before being forced into battle, you dispel 1 buff on the enemy, which is actually really kind of cool. I don't know if I'm going to be going any sort of pure Empire in the future, though. I definitely have some Empire characters that are useful, like Sakura, but not exactly sure if I would go that route. The other thing, she's also the second character to, I think second character to get Miracle. So it's no longer a TRS exclusive. And then instead of having the standard healing spell, she actually has crystal healing. Now the interesting thing about these crystal heals is they actually don't dispel buffs. They heal about the same, and what they do is they'll apply a buff that's kind of similar to TRS's talent, where when attacked and taking damage. Oh, actually, it's even better than TRS's talent. It's whenever you're attacked and taking damage, you just restore HP. This also applies for things like AoEs. So she's definitely a very, very strong counter against things like that. So let me be right back. I'll go ahead and just burn through everything and get as much upgrade as possible. Okay, so before I get back to Rosen CL, I want to go ahead and show off the new troop training stuff. Main things to note, I mean, there's some new characters, some of which have not been unlocked yet, some have, but the main thing here is these new stat increases. Unlike the previous stat increases that are more generic, these ones are actually specific to troop type. So there's one for infantry, one for lancer, one for cavalry, and then down here they would actually have two separate ones, one for aquatic and one for flying. So it's a little annoying because in the case of holy and demon, there's mage, demon, and holy that you would have to upgrade. Currently, I'm working on lancer because I rely heavily on tanking. One thing to note is these equipment requirements don't actually increase very quickly. But what does increase very quickly is the book requirement. So the bottleneck is actually going to quickly become these material books, which is, I guess, it's good overall because I rather need books than these freaking essential oils and things like that, because you can get books pretty steadily, so it's not too big of a deal for me. As for the new troop types, but the only one that there's some pretty interesting ones. There's one that allows the self-res. Unfortunately, it doesn't really. Only certain characters can use certain troop types, and most of the ones that I would consider pretty decent are not usable by me. So it is what it is, unfortunately. So let's go ahead and dive right into Rosen CL. Right now, her gear is a little awful. Well, it is a little awful, but I kind of swap things around a little bit because I need her to actually be capable of doing damage, because her awakening's a thing. But for right now, I'm just kind of going with a little offensive setup and stuff like that. I'm actually going to go ahead and try the Awakenings and see if I can get anywhere with it. Soldier, she does have access to Sorceresses and Shrine Maidens, which is great. And then here's her enchants. They're kind of mad. I don't really have any good enchant stones right now for mages. I may melt some stones and try to convert them. I'm a little wary about melting anything right now because I actually need holy stones for Freya's SP class requirements, which there are a lot of SP requirements for Freya, unfortunately. Anyway, let's go ahead and just dive into this. We'll try Rosen CL first and see if we can get anywhere with it. It's usually pretty hard to actually do these with healers. Are these crystals a curse or a blessing? Defeat all enemies. She does have an AoE breath attack, so I'm hoping to take advantage of that a little bit. Okay, a ranged character. Okay. Oh wow, these are all mostly NPC types. That's not too bad. Okay, we can make do with that. Alright, well I do have ice, so let's see if I can make this happen. I was wondering why everything was so slow. That's because it swapped me back to normal speed for some reason. If I need to, I can swap in more offensive equipment, but we'll see if we can get far enough with what we have. Alright, you do have an AoE. Trying to think of how I want to do this. Can you fly? Be nice if you could. Yeah, I might not be able to pull this off. The Hellfire Archers alone are gonna kind of wreck me. But being able to heal myself passively is actually kind of useful. Okay, I managed to pull that off. Okay, he's gonna be a problem though. I'll give me another buff. And hit me with Thunder Dragon Breath. And as you can see, I had 5 stacks of this crystal barrier, and one of them got removed instead of getting a debuff. You have another one, don't you? Yes, you do. Okay, so I'm just actually going to go ahead and take this opportunity to go ahead and heal myself. So I'm just going to keep reapplying this passive buff. Alright, let's see if we can pull that off. So he's going to spend this round summoning. And then the summon's going to attack me. Thanks to the crystal healing, I'm actually getting healed by the AoE as well, so it actually works out really well for me. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and kill you first. Okay, my crystal wore off, that's okay. Okay, that wasn't too bad at all. Also, every time I killed one of his minions, my stats increased, so I kind of just outlasted him. That wasn't too bad at all for a healer. Alright. Alright, so this next one I actually have other troops to help me, so we don't need these anymore. Anything... That's kind of all I need. We'll just do this. And then soldiers, we'll switch you back to this, which is going to drop her power, but that's fine. Alright, and we'll go ahead and switch to full-on healing now. For her accessory, I went with Goddess tier, because since her standard heals don't actually remove debuffs, I figured this could be kind of useful. I mean, to be honest, you don't really need Goddess tier once you have full stacks, but it doesn't hurt to have. Also, the only really other option would be... I suppose the other option would probably be going for, like, Immunity to Silence or something along those lines. But yeah, we'll just stick with this for now. That's fine. Alright, so... I haven't read about this. So this is a transformation ability, and it's essentially... She turns into, essentially, an immobile crystal statue. Upon using it, she does a mass AoE heal, and then it applies crystal healing to everybody, just like all of her healing spells does. And she can't attack, move, or be displaced, or use skills. And then after each of her turns, she, well, her healing amount will increase by 20%, and her damage taken is reduced by 20%. And her talent's command range increases by 1, which is pretty useful. And it also gives her the ability to self-res once. And then after taking actions, which is essentially just passing her turn, everyone within range, within talent range, will get healed and get 2 stacks of crystal barrier, and it lasts for 2 turns. It's pretty neat. It's probably not super. The problem is it does kind of scale off her talent, which right now her talent is at base because I only have 3 stars. But still, it's pretty cool. So let's go ahead and do Awakening, see what we get going here. I am tired. After a century of strife, it's time to end it all. Well, that's pleasant. So, yeah. We'll just do this and get started. Okay, so she actually focused on AoEs. One, two, three, four, five. Okay, so we'll put you down here. One, two, four, five. Just making sure I'm doing this right. Looks like they had new combat music. I'm so not used to using Gizaroth at all. We'll put you here. After intentionally dealing damage to an enemy. Okay, so every time he does damage, it buffs the thing. Okay, and then move you back. Okay, and then we'll go. So usually most people open with Mass Crystal Healing just to get the all that going. Okay. Thankfully, since everything else moved first, I didn't have to worry about the debuffs. Alright, so with all that, let's go ahead and open with okay. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and do this. There we go. So I'm doing that so I can get extra crystals up. Okay. I got another fancy buff. Self-destruction component, okay. What do you have? Okay. And then... okay, I have to be in defensive terrain to take advantage of that. That's okay. We'll just do this. Okay, one down. Yeah, the silence was actually really key here. Okay. Okay. And then okay, yeah, looks like this wasn't too bad at all. Even at 3 stars, I just stack these things so quickly. It's pretty impressive. It's gonna explode. Oh, never mind. Thought it had self-destruct. Okay, so this is going to be a little bit of a problem. Okay, she's just going to focus on healing. That's fine. Use the battle cry to get rid of the passive heal. There you go. Good stuff. Okay, so with that I can do something like this. Also, she's Princess Faction, which is always good. Though I don't have a Princess Faction buffer in my Apex anymore, but that's okay. Alright, so let's go ahead and dive into the more important stuff. Well, other important stuff, rather. We need to, Zerida's Heart of Alizar essentially is a combination of all of her skills. The only thing that would make it even worse would be adding a teleport to it, Juggler. So yeah, essentially you destroy all your troops like usual. Your damage increases by 30%, immune to all debuffs. After battle, restored equal to half your damage. And then it also gives you Sly Strike because it makes you allows you to move 3 spaces after killing, and also gives you Killing Blow. It actually swaps the skill out when you use it into Killing Blow, so you don't have to give up a slot for that. And yeah, it's rather good. So we'll go ahead and do Awakenings. Zerida may be scarred and battered, but Zerida has something she wishes to do, but someone she still wishes. Okay. Alright. Yeah, no surprise there. You have Sprint, you do not. Okay.
何をしてるのか分かっているのか何をしてるのか分かっているのか本当に
How much HP do these things have? Seeing if it's worthwhile to faction buff. I might go ahead and just do it. Alright, so what I can do here... swap you two. Oh, didn't get to morph, unfortunately, but that's okay. I'll take out you.
何をしてるのか分かっているのか計画通り
Tempted to kind of go for the kill already. Yeah, let's go ahead and see what I can do here. Okay, yeah, didn't even need Alizar. Alright, she's gonna morph and get an extra action. Okay.
試してみるかい行くぞ
はあ計画通りだ
Should have cast that first. Okay, that takes care of you. Alright. Quick and easy. And while I don't mind having a good 3-cost skill, I don't like the only thing I don't like about 3-cost skills is in some cases it completely just nullifies a lot of our other skills. So in this case, I don't need Killing Blow anymore. Don't need Alizar's Bloodthirster. Take this, and I don't need Slice Stride because this does Slice Stride. The only benefit of taking Slice Stride would be for the crit chance, which honestly you're just better off not having. And that means I can also now do Backstab. So yeah, she's good to go. Alright, and then Brenda's 3-cost skill has been made available. When taking AoE damage, gain stacks of Paragon of Elegance talent. So that actually is kind of useful. It means she can get her extra action sooner. And it also goes well with the AoE meta. Increase attack by 20% and damage dealt by 10%. When moving, ignores obstruction from enemy units and gain attack break and a defense break. It lasts 2 turns, gains 1 stack of Paragon. Allows you to move an additional 3 spaces before acting again. So it's a buff that's actually kind of neat. So let's go ahead and dive right in. I will never forget the sight of my village being flooded, but for the future of my people, I cannot stop. Alright, anything? Yeah, we're gonna have to swap these for something else. Actually, I'll just let the others deal with them. Yeah, we'll stick with what we have and see what happens. Alright, so main thing here is the fact you have Strike. So main thing we want to have happen here. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So where she's at, she should be good. So we'll shift you down.
女ばかりの傭兵団。
私に考えがある。一つ策がある。
There should be no danger from chivalry, in theory.
この件についてはもう考えている。
So I'm hoping to bait Brenda to go right into my spears. Did, but man, I still took a ton of damage.
この計略で行ってみよう。
さあ、
始めよう。
さあ、行くよ。
準備万端だ。一つ
And
私
then
に時は来た。
deal with you.
私に考えがある。
This is ranged, isn't it? That is ranged. Okay.
一つ策がある。この件についてはもう考えてある。クリムゾニアのために。
Okay, I'm gonna get AoE'd here. Alright,
女ばかりの傭兵団。
do
いつでも出られるよ。
that.
私に始めよう。
That actually worked out pretty well.
準備万端だ。一つ策がある。準備始めよう。準備万端だ。 この計略で行ってみよう。
Okay, he hurts himself. Perfect.
女ばかり。
一つ策がある。この計略で行ってみよう。
Alright,
女ばかりの傭兵団。いつで
yeah,
も
we'll
出
just
られるよ。
attack. It's fine.
この件については
And no one to buff with tactical genius. Good times. Alright, not too bad. Hopefully this didn't take too long. Alright,
は
there we go. So we don't really need strike anymore. Take that and either move again or sneak. I'll do sneak. I mean, I don't use Brenda that often anyway. The only other things to note about this update is I believe there's a new difficulty level for the guild battle. Unfortunately, one of my officers had already started another one, so I can't try it out. Supposedly also sweeping is a thing for guild battles, which I hope is true, because I would love to be able to just sweep them. And yeah, I think that's everything. I may reorganize the Apex box, but for right now, I think that's going to be it. So I am the Depressed Dior. This was Langrisser Mobile. See you guys later.